everybody, and welcome back to a brand new Sims 4 video. I have tried to film this video 100 times, but for some reason my mic keeps messing up, so hopefully this sounds better. Anyway, today we are going to be going through all of the mods that I play with in The Sims 4. So this includes any fixes that I have in the game / gameplay mods that I like to play with. I just want to say I will put all the links down below in the description as always if you want to go give them a download. Okay, so let's start off with two of the mods that are two or three of the mods that kind of run in my game that I don't really interact with. One of them is the better exceptions mod. So this basically will scan your script mods and mods in general, and if there's any errors or issues, so if you need to update any, it will let you know, and then you can either take it out the game or update it where you need to. I do this to try and manage my mods a little bit better, particularly at the minute, especially as we get quite a lot of bug fixes. Two is we have the simulation lag mod fix, and then we also had the timeline unclogger. So that when it says that, I believe it's in order to do this because I used to have a glitch where, particularly when I was playing in quite large houses, where the time would just go, but then it would the Sims wouldn't actually do anything. So I have these two in the game to try and make it so that I don't have any sort of mod problems, not mod problems, but just gameplay problems, I should say. So they basically just work at unclogging your timeline to make sure that the Sims are kind of doing what you want them to do. I also do have the, like I said, simulation lag mod. So that's, when Sims sometimes just get a bit stuck, is to try and stop all of that basically. And I don't know whether it's just because I'm playing the game on a better computer that it's working better, or whether the mods are actually doing anything, but I definitely did notice it a lot more on my computer. But yeah, that might be something that you want to invest in if you know you're going to play in large mansions, or you're going to play with a lot of custom content or a lot of mods. So the other mod that I want to show you guys does actually involve me going into Create a Sim, so let's go. I obviously do have the Create a Sim backgrounds on. I don't know whether this classifies as a mod or custom content. I just hate The Sims 4 backgrounds, and I do like having a plain background, particularly if I'm doing anything Create a Sim in terms of taking screenshots. It's just a bit easier. I chose purple because it's my favourite colour. So the one that I wanted to show you in CAS is this one here. So instead of having just the 2 columns, we have 3. So this is the more CAS columns mod by, I can't remember their name, but it'll all be in the description. This makes it really easy. I know some people do just like to play The Sims for purely custom content or purely Create Sim reasons. So this is definitely a staple in my game. I have 3 columns on my laptop. I would say if you are on a computer, which is generally a bigger screen, you're probably going to want 4, potentially even 5. So the next one that I want to show you is the UI cheats mod. So this is made by the same person that makes the more CAS columns. So basically it just makes cheating a hell of a lot easier. It means you don't have to remember every single code in the game. So for example, let's just say I really want them to have 500 simoleons. I could just put that in and click set it, and it will set it to 500 simoleons. Let's say I want her fun to be a bit higher than that. Just click on that. Bish bash bosh. Let's say actually I want her to have completed this bit in the aspiration. Just right click. Done. Let's say I want, what is your name? Adeline. Let's say I want Adeline to have gotten 100% at school. You just right click on it and type in 100. And then it sets it to that. So, and equally you can do the same here. Let's say I want to get her to skill level 2. Bosh, done. So it just makes those sort of things so easy to do in the game. It's one of those mods where you don't really notice it until it's gone. Whenever there's a big game update, I'm always like, wait, hang on, where did it go? Now the same thing could be said probably about the next mod, which is also MC Command Center. Now I'm not going to sit here and explain MC Command Center because I couldn't tell you all of the things. I will say probably the most common setting that people do change is to do with Risky Woohoo. which you can just do by going into the MC Command Center and then clicking woohoo. I will say if you want that to do that specifically, you need to make sure you download the woohoo because it is a separate package. So make sure you have downloaded that. In terms of the actual settings, I have updated my settings to try and make it so that story progression, I know that they kind of already added it into base game, but to make it a little bit smoother as well. I'm not going to sit here and try and explain every single setting that I have because I think it would take, well, it could be its own separate video, but I'm going to try and leave the Reddit post that if I can find it, that I used in the description as well, just so if you want to use some of the same settings you can. One of the other things which is really handy is that you can set it so that move objects is constantly on, which I believe I did in the game. You can also set the separate age spans, which I do a little bit. It does require a game restart, but basically you can say, I can't remember how much, I think it's 33 days for a young adult. I think, give or take, sometimes I change that to like 35 or 38. Just give them a few extra days. Change what the townies are wearing, I believe, with like the dress of things. I don't think I've really changed much with all of that, but there you go. So that is MC Command Center. Now, I think that might be all of the mods that I've got that are like purely for gameplay, like trying to clear stuff kind of fixes. There is one mod which I'm going to mention because I don't have it in my game, but I really want to download it, and I believe it's a mod that fixes dine out. I really want to get it because I miss playing with restaurants so much. So if you would like a mod review or overview of that when I get it, let me know. Okay, so then the other thing that I have in the game is I have a faster homework mod. So if I get her now to just do her homework, she should do this in about 10 to 20 minutes, which I generally think is about as much as homework takes in real life. Yeah, as you can see, it just goes up super duper quickly, which is definitely a benefit because I do like my children to go out and do stuff or like build up their skills a bit. It also does the same for projects as well. I think it makes the projects a little bit quicker. Now, typically, if I'm also playing with university, I'm not, so I don't have it in my game at the minute. I will always get the mod that makes the term presentations and the term papers a bit quicker. I normally always have the mod as well that makes like the uni credits a bit different as well, and it makes university a bit shorter because sometimes I find it's a bit of a long process. Anyway, now we move on to some of the more gameplay mods. I only really have 3 in my game, which is not that many. So I'm going to start off with the education mod, which I'm not going to be able to show overall because she's not at school until I think tomorrow. But if I go on to here and I click on school, you can see there's a new little thing for it. So you can enroll into a private school now, or a boarding school. Now these do cost 750 simoleons, so do keep that in mind. So when you click on apply, it will give you an option to write a personal statement and then to tour and interview at the school. And you have to normally have a parent sim as well to go with the child sim for that, which I think is very cool. So then once you've applied, you have to then enroll as well. And then after that, your sim will just get a new thing that will say like private or independent, not like grade school student. And it's very cool. You can also have the option to have a virtual school as well. So maybe if you want to homeschool your sims, you can. I will say the one time I did try this, it was a bit buggy and it didn't really work for me. I don't know whether that was just me though, and like maybe my game, but you also have like a study and homework option as well, which you can do regardless of whether you're a private or online or, you know, like just normal school student. You can also see with the homework as well, it adds more options. You can do makeup homework, you can do extra credit. You have all of these like do math homework, do math problems, all of those sorts of things. I mean, I'll show you a little bit more in depth when she does go to school because it adds a lot more options as well. But there you go. So the next mod that I want to go into is RPO. Now, I could do a whole video going into this completely, but I'm going to give you a little bit of a taster into it. So we have Parker and we have Jill as well. And they currently both like I was gonna say they both want to have children. Actually, he doesn't. Oh, well, that's thrown a bit of a spanner in the works. But actually, this is where the mod comes in handy. So I need to have him get up. I don't know why he's sleeping. Oh, it's AM. Oh my god, it's like 3 AM in the game. I did not realize that. I'm gonna have the child go to bed. That's oh no, hang on, I've just clicked on the wrong sim. Oh no, hang on, wait, what? Anyway, now that I've dealt with that, since he's up, if we go into relationships, family, and pregnancy, which is what RPO is, if I go into pregnancy and family, I can, I believe, click on this. No, not that bit, not that bit. Thoughts on having children. Here we go. So I can just change it and say, would be happy to have a child right now. So it just means that if they got pregnant, it just means that he would be happy, basically. So the very cool thing that I like to find with this game is that you can actually go and get like reproductive health. So for example, let's say you really don't want any more kids, you can go and get a sterilization surgery. You can go and assess the fertility. Particularly for the female sims, you can actually have them on proper birth control. I will say though, disclaimer, you can still get pregnant on the birth control. Like genuinely, and especially if you've got risky woohoo quite high, they will just get pregnant quite quickly, regardless of whether or not you've got birth control. So do keep that in mind. The other thing in which you can get is you can actually just order protection as well from the computer. So it'll just say order woohoo protection, and you can buy as many as your heart desires, I guess. So I am just gonna have them go to bed anyway. It does add quite a lot of different things. So in terms of romances, you could decide to be celibate if you wanted to. You could specify your turn-offs and turn-ons, gender preferences. You can do the dating app as well, which I'll show you in a minute. You have obviously loads of reproductive health options, pregnancy and family. Can't really do that right now, but you can do like the jealousy things. So you can decide to set the boundaries or decide to always be faithful. You can also do this. I've actually never played with this before, so I can't really tell you much about it. You can just do like just general management. Yeah, again, not really played with that. You can decide to adopt or put children up for adoption. And then the other thing that you can do, you can also get WTDs. So you can get obviously treated for that. But you can get different various ones. You can also, if your sims break up, you can get like custody, which makes the child support a bit cooler in the game to work out. Yeah, so you've got all of those options. You don't actually have to have all those modules, but if you do not want them, but I choose to. I will say, in regards to pregnancy and family, your sims can have like pregnancy complications and losses. So if that is something that you think you would find sensitive, you maybe just don't download that particular module. So, since we're in a flirty mood, I kind of do want them to have a cheeky little woohoo. The other thing, which I think it adds, but I don't know whether it adds it with this one or whether it's my childbirth mod that adds it, but you can woohoo when in unconventional places. So I wonder if I can show you that. So, yeah, let's just woohoo on a unconventional object, and I'll show you how that one works. So obviously you got to have the whole woohoo thing. So there's obviously quite a lot of random things. I normally just go with the sofa, to be honest. Just because I don't really understand how they would, do that. So how it works is that they both just disappear. You can see the little love hearts, and everything's all right as rain. And then they'll basically come back. Now, it does, if you go and do this in a public place, by the way, it will actually come up with like an embarrassed moodlet, I believe, or sometimes it does like a confident moodlet. I've had it both where it does that. She likes video gaming. Okay, Quinn, you can do that. So you'll see that I think they get like an additional oh my god, spectacular. Okay, guys. So why limit oneself to beds when there are so many services around? I think this comes with the mod. They also get one if they don't use protection. I am actually going to go and have her take a pregnancy test because I don't know. My risky woohoo is quite low. Okay, she can't get to the bathroom. Oh gosh. Why is it whenever I do these sorts of videos, I can never just like get it 100%? Can you now come? You should be able to now come and do it. I don't know why though. My Sims at the minute had a bit of a habit of sitting on here when there's a perfectly acceptable sofa in front of them. Who? Let's see. I do prefer the animation here because it's got like a little cute pregnancy test. So there we go. Okay, so that tends to mean that she's not pregnant, which is fine. So this time I'm gonna have them try for a baby, and because they want children, they'll get a special moodlet that'll say, Parker would love to have a child and is hyped to be trying for a pregnancy. Maybe third time's the charm here? Maybe, just maybe. Oh my god, can she just not get pregnant? My first mod, like the first time I tried to film this video, we got triplets. I don't even think I've ever had triplets in this game before, and I legit got triplets, and it was the same Sims. So don't know what quite happened there. But when they go to the doctor, it is obviously a rabbit hole, and then they normally get like a moodlet and something pop up here once they're done. Okay, so she's got a little pop-up to say there is nothing to indicate that your fertility is anything but average. This is not bad news. It just means there's nothing to worry about. She's got a little tab for it. I'm sorry, but difficult news. It would seem that were you to oh no, were you to become pregnant, you'd be at high risk and encounter issues. Uh-oh, that is not great. But yeah, no, because her fertility is quite well, it's average. She should be okay. So I don't know with that one. I have no words, honestly. Right, anyway, besides from the fact that we've just set the house on fire, I think, in amidst all this, yeah, you seem to be extra fertile. What? How is that humanly possible? Oh, okay, we're trying it again. Don't even know how many times I've tried at this point, but let's see. I have a feeling she might be this time, because she's in a different position. There we go. There we go. That is exactly what we wanted. That little shocked face. I'm going to share big news. Now, like I said, things can happen when your Sims are pregnant, but I'm kind of hoping for the sake of this one that it's not going to. So, I'm just going to have him... Uh-oh. Jill is going to have his first child. Hang on, did I not make her his daughter? I thought I did. Anyway, Jill is going to have his first child. He's heard a lot about families and their dynamics. Perhaps Jill is a certain type of child. I'm gonna let's let fate decide. So what does he want? Maybe it does when I go into here. Yeah, what does he like? Jill would like to have some flesh. Okay, he would like to have a son. Right, okay, cool. Ironically, she is craving some healthy food this morning. So you do tend to find that they have cravings, and you can actually, if you go onto Pregnancy and Family, you can go and get some craved food, which I actually might have her go and do actually. So she does get a little moodlet to say Parker feels much better now that those food cravings have been satisfied, but it didn't actually really do much for her actual hunger. And since Adeline has just gone to school, I can finally show you school. So these are all the options that you get. You will obviously get more as well. It depends what sort of sim that you want to have. I'm probably going to have her take notes, which does tend to boost up their performance a bit. But also sometimes I do have them just like meet friends or maybe be disrupted, depends on which type of child that I want. So, since everybody has gone to work in the school, I'm actually going to show you the new section of when you get pregnant. So you can call an obstetrician. So once you've called them, you can do quite a lot of different things. I'm going to click on pregnancy checkups. So I like to do this to obviously get an ultrasound, which I'll show you. You can also, once you've done, well, you don't actually have to have an ultrasound. I just personally like to. You can also just click whichever option you want. We are just going to go with pregnancy checkup, and then it will give you a little menu, and you can click let's go. Oh, and you can choose to go by like with your partner, but obviously for the sake of this, we're just gonna go by ourselves. Obviously, you just get the normal hospital that comes with Get to Work. So for this mod, I believe you do need Get to Work. I normally always just put in a little ultrasound, And then I normally transform one of these. Now, it's going to depend, because if you are playing as a doctor in the actual game, you're probably not going to want to do this because you're going to want to utilize the hospital. So I normally just pretty much put in everything that you need for when the Sims go into labour. Ooh. There we go. I normally put a pool in as well. Okie doke, probably won't need anything else, so I think we're good. You can choose, if you click on this, to basically keep it a surprise or find out the gender. We're going to find out for this one. And then you basically start the ultrasound scan, you click on any of the doctors. I'm just gonna go with her. And then the ultrasound will begin. Now hopefully we don't bloom and get triplets. This is generally what the ultrasound looks like. They normally get into some form of top, which is like a bra or like a crop top sort of thing. And then the little Doppler goes on it. I think looks quite realistic. I think that's the sign of just one baby, thank goodness. Looks like you're expecting one healthy baby, thank goodness. Everything looks good so far, but we'll continue to monitor your pregnancy. And it looks like we're having a boy. Okay, so Jill's going to be quite happy with that, I think. You can get complications. So you can get babies that are born early. I'm not going to show you that in this particular video. Yeah, at least with this one, you do get like a little ultrasound, which is very cute. So I've just put our little ultrasound there, which is very cute. So the other things that I did get for her is these headphones, which you could use. The pump you don't really need until the baby's actually here. I did also get her a little exercise ball, which you can use to either like induce labour, or you can just use it throughout the pregnancy. Have her go and play music for the baby. She should get a tiny little moodlet pop up. She also does get quite positive moodlets because obviously she wants to have a baby. If you don't want to have a baby, you will get like sad or tense moodlets. I also find it really interesting if you have a teen pregnancy, which has happened to me like a couple of times now. I like the additional element that it does add to the game. And I think that's a combination of RPO and these mods together. So does she get a... Yeah, so she... Oh no, she got an Already in Love, but she didn't get a thingy one for some reason. Oh well, that's fine. But other than that, I'm probably going to cheat her pregnancy forward ever so slightly, and then we'll get to the main bit. So I did have her go and buy something for the baby, and so she did get a little moodlet which says, "How nice to prepare for the arrival of the new baby by purchasing something new." So the other thing that I haven't showed you guys yet is that you can actually do a gender reveal. Now, I don't really see the point in us doing this because we already know the gender, but you can do like a cute little gender reveal. You can get either balloons, a cake, I think, or a cannon. And it is a very, very, very cool little interaction. Oh, the other thing which I haven't actually showed you yet, I believe this comes with the education mod, is that they will sometimes just make cute little drawings. And you can just go and like, obviously, I don't think you can hang it on the fridge. But you might be able to hang it on the board from Parenthood, but I haven't tried that yet. But it's a cute little drawing there. Okay, I did have them read to the baby again, and they did actually do it this time. So this is what it looks like. It's very sweet, and then they do also get a moodlet as well. Okay, guys, it's finally happened. She is in labour. So I did have her click the C-section option just because I thought that'd be kind of the easiest. You kind of do it exactly the same way you would normally, which is have baby at hospital, and then click join. Well, you could click send alone, but then you're not going to see any of them. You don't have to pick partner, you can pick parent, but I'm going to click partner, and then it will send us to a loading screen. Because we have already chosen the C-section option, it basically tells us go and get the epidural and then do it. So if you are planning on having a natural delivery, there are certain things that you can do. You can go do the exercise ball, you can cuddle with your partner. If you click on the sim, you can go for a walk. If you get desperate and you're like, oh my god, this is taking years, you can click start Pitocin, which will speed up quite a bit. Obviously, you can give them an epidural, which is exactly what we are actually going to do. So we're going to pick this particular doctor. And then we're going to have her come and do the epidural. Now, the reason that I've chosen a C-section for the sake of time, basically, because it can take a really, really, really long time. And that's fine if you want to do it. I mean, obviously at this point, I've done it quite a bit throughout my different saves, so I've kind of been there and done that, and it really depends what mood I'm in, depends on which option I pick. But the obviously kind of unrealistic thing is that she is walking about. Normally with an epidural, you can't do that. But it has gone well, which is good, because sometimes, spoiler alert, it can fail. You do normally have to wait for probably about 10 minutes for it to actually register that she's had the epidural. And then it will say give birth. And then you just click the doctor. And then you fingers crossed that the partner will actually join. 9 times out of 10 they do, but sometimes they don't. So we're going to have her do that. Okay, so the C-section has been done. So that's all cool. And then the baby is born. And that's kind of it. There's nothing else to it really, other than, although thinking about it, does she have like a little, oh, she has like a little thing here. Okay, that's kind of it. That it's fairly simple, but it does make it a little bit more realistic. She does get a new little moodlet. So that is pretty cool, and yeah, that's pretty simple. So obviously then you can go home and use like the pump or maybe the formula if that's what you want, and feed the children, and it is pretty simple. And that is pretty much so. That is every single mod for this video that I play with. If you have any recommendations of any mods to add or for me to try, then let me know and I'll have a little look. But thank you guys ever so much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Please leave a like, go subscribe, go leave a nice comment, and hopefully I'll see you all next time. Bye guys.